jetzt wird's interessant, ey. Er hat ja gerade gesagt, hinter den Augen sieht er Zorn und was weiß ich nicht was. Also ich sehe, dass die Augen hässlich sind. Das sehe ich. Ja, sie war meine Schwester. Ja, wir wollen mal nicht so gleich ins Detail gehen.
Just know, I cared for her.
You seem so troubled by the loss of this girl. What happened to her?
She has been laid to rest. That's all you need to know.
I see. And how are you feeling, my son?
I feel responsible. The pain is consuming me.
I have a final question for you, my son. This is of the utmost importance.
Ask your question, Vicar.
What would you like her to know?
I'm so sorry, Mary. I promise to find who is responsible for all this. I'll put an end to this horror.
You have been heard, my son, and your burden will lighten if your words are sincere. Go in peace now and live your life in the way she would have wanted.
Okay. Geht's uns jetzt besser? Triff Edgar Swansea im Krankenhaus.
Whatever happened on this dock is between my sister and I. It does not concern God at all.
Okay, wir sollen jetzt zurück. Was mich aber so ein bisschen gerade irritiert, ist ja diese, das andere hier. Versprechender Nachwuchs. Plunder und mehr. Finde das Paket von Barrett Lewis. Was ist das hier? Witwe in Nöten. Details. Stonebridge jetzt auf den Stonebridge Friedhof fest. Okay. Dann müssten wir... Das führt dann alles dahin. Okay. Ich weiß noch nicht, wie sich das manifestiert. Aber wir sollen ja jetzt erstmal zurückgehen. Machen wir. Mal ganz kurz gucken. Das Krankenhaus. Ich müsste mal einen Unterschlupf oder sowas finden. Händler, Unterschlupf. Ja, mal gucken. Clayton. Erschöpfung. Na, warte mal. Wir geben dem vielleicht auch mal Medizin.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Ja.
Have you any news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
Without a proper investigation, her death will go unpunished. Another Whitechapel tragedy. One that people need to hear about.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Das ist ja der Zeitungstypi. Das gefällt mir gerade gar nicht.
It's locked.
Wenn der natürlich irgendwelche Neuigkeiten verbreitet. Ist das unser Unterschlupf? Ja. Dann ist das, glaube ich, nicht ganz so gut. Was ist da? Unbekannt.
Unable to see the true horror around you.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reid, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Du hast so eine Klatsche, Alter. Okay, Erschöpfung. Könnten wir aufheben?
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
It's the vanity of that woman which caused her death. Only penance can save us from the scourge.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences. And most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition. What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences. And most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Okay.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Okay. Jetzt wird's langsam...
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Fire is just the instinctive answer of a caveman facing something he does not understand. This is the 20th century.
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Ja. Die Frage ist... Behandlung gegen Erschöpfung. 2,4. Ich weiß nicht, was ich mit dem machen soll. Der ist ein bisschen... wir haben noch 2 Hinweise. Keine Beziehungen. Ich meine, wir könnten den... Ich hätte da so eine Idee, wenn es irgendwie geht. Ich würde den ganz gerne irgendwie... Ja, wir fragen noch. Nee, warte mal, das haben wir schon.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
Uh-oh.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Ja, ganz ehrlich, der ist mir ein bisschen...
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Alter, der ist doch nicht ganz reisefertig, oder? bisschen. Er ist gefährlich. David Lewis, Joe Patterson.
You again? What do you want this time?
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I won't deny. I was shocked when I heard about her death. People respect nothing anymore.
Er hat nix. Okay.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
In Ordnung.
Take a look. Don't be afraid. Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you?
Wir gucken mal. Oh.
Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I've known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
Naja, wir schon.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Without making excuses for him, it's safe to say that despair can poison even the sanest mind.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
Mhm.
Do you have any news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
Sad, of course, but I won't cry for her.
Why are you so indifferent?
I never trusted what she was doing with that dispensary. That kind of generous behavior always hides something.
Okay, jetzt haben wir. Gucken wir mal, was er hat zum Handeln.
Right then. Show me what you have.
Was hast du denn? Was ist denn das hier? Aluminiumfragment. Eisen, Naklo. Kaliummagnat. Ergotamin. Opium. Wir haben nix hier, oder was? Doch. Wir haben Codein, wir haben Naklo, wir haben Chinin, Ergotamin, Opium, Aliumfragment. Wir wollen ja nicht verkaufen. Munition. Was brauchen wir für das? Kommentiertes. Plunder. Guter Wiederverkaufswert, 12 Schillinge. Sehr guter. Ja. Schöne Blume. Ja, komm. Weg mit dem Schnurrer. Feder, Schmiermittel, Schraube, Glasfilone, Ring. Ja, wir kaufen nix. So, diesen Peterson würde ich ganz gerne umlegen. Ganz ehrlich, der ist mir hier... Kann ich hier nicht irgendwie...
What do you want this time?
Kann ich nicht, oder was? Kann ich den nicht irgendwie mesmerisieren?
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Ärgerlich. Was ist das denn hier?
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reid, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm a Harry, by the way. Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Petersons Haus. Ah! Okay. Sehen wir uns mal um. Blutarmut.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Blutarmut, okay. Was haben wir denn hier alles? Nelkenextrakt. Gucken wir mal oben. Ratten haben wir hier auch. Ah, ist verschlossen. Ja, die Frage ist, behandeln oder nicht behandeln? Absagebrief. Ja, wir reden mal mit dem Kleinen. Besser ist das. Ja, wir talken mal eine Runde. Mal gucken, was er sagt.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Okay,
Have you
Standard.
any recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
Why am I not surprised that a woman like her got killed? Whitechapel is a shithole.
Okay.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough, like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
Nee, da hat er recht. Blutarmut.
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
Okay, wir könnten dir Medizin geben. Ich könnte den auch mesmerisieren. Töten oder nicht töten? Nein, ich mach's nicht. Ich mach's nicht. Ich mach's nicht. Nein, nein. Das ist nicht gut. Noch nicht. Erstmal will ich noch mit dem eine Runde talken.
Pain and suffering.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Okay.
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired.
Ja,
I don't know
ist
if it's
okay.
the epidemic, but everything seems
Ich geb dir
so
was.
hard.
Ich töte dich nicht. Ich töte keine Kinder.
You'll feel better with this, but you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
Kein Problem. Wir sind ein Doktor. Wir helfen.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Ja. Also ganz ehrlich, dieser Gangster, den würde ich schon ganz gerne umnieten.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reid. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
You have a roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
Tja, mein Freund. Könnte...
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Ich könnte dich natürlich holen.
Is there only pain and suffering?
Ich hab dich aber geheilt. Wir kommen nochmal zurück. Wir kommen auf dich zurück. Ja, momentan ist es kritisch, das ist klar. Jetzt können wir mit Joe hier eventuell reden. Vielleicht können wir ja was machen.
You again? What do you want this time?
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Overnight, my world has changed. The gnawing hunger inside me. Every night, it must be appeased. The thing I've become. A vampire. A thing to be hunted down like an evil beast. But as a doctor,